Hello and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be me talking to you as I show you how I recreate a traditional makeup look using airbrush makeup. So yeah, I hope you guys are ready for this, and if you're interested then keep on watching. If you're not, then I'll see you in the next round, hopefully. All right, let's get on to it. Okay, so one of my followers on Instagram was so kind as to bring a beautiful traditional makeup look done by BeautyDosage. And I'll go ahead and show you a close-up of this now. Anyways, she did this look and I thought it was beautiful, and as soon as this look was sent to me, I just thought to myself, okay, you know, I think I can do this. I think I have the shades for this. So now I'm finally going to, after a long period of time, I apologize so much, you know who you are, I'm going to actually recreate this look for you. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to dive in with some Dinair shades, just because Dinair offers a multitude of shades as far as airbrush makeup goes. Many other brands don't really offer as many shades, so obviously Dinair was going to be first choice for recreating this look. So the shades that I pulled for this look, we're going to be using some brown shades, and I think we're going to be concentrating more on fawn brown. We're going to use some Egyptian bronze, and then we're going to hit it with some of that dark brown. We're going to go ahead and use those. And then for the lid shade, now I had to do some research for the lid shade just to find out what the actual color was like, because sometimes in the pictures that are posted to Instagram there are edits done, or the lighting is different, to which it'll kind of skew the actual colors. So that being said, I did some research, and it turns out the makeup artist who did this look, BeautyDosage, used a shade from ColourPop Cosmetics called Millionaire. Now I did go ahead and do some research on that shade, and I looked it up, and these swatches look very similar to Dinair's shade Cleo. So that's what I'm going to be using now. Cleo is from their Kohler Opalescent line. And then I also noticed that in the shade Millionaire, there is some like little sprinkles of this really bright, like almost like a hot pink color. I wouldn't say bright pink, but it's like a hot pink. And so I'm going to be creating those little specks using Dinair Kohler Opalescent shade Shocking. So we're going to go ahead and play with these and see how close we can get to the original look. Because as you know, like I've always said, anything that can be done with traditional makeup can be done with airbrush makeup, if not better. I'm just saying, it's facts. It's facts. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So I don't have anything on my face right now. I just have my concealer done. And to conceal, I concealed with Dinair's Paramedical Honey Beige, which is now their Neutralize line. So if you're looking for it on their website, it's called Neutralize and Camouflage. Anyways, I used Honey Beige for me. That's my concealer color of choice. It's also the base shade in my foundation color mix, so that's why I use that. So now I'm going to be taking my contour shade, which is Nutmeg, and that's also the shade that I use to go ahead and deepen my foundation to get the perfect match for me. So feel free to use whatever contour shade works for you. I'm going to go ahead and apply my contour now just to get it done, and I'm just going to go ahead and contour the hollows of my cheeks like so. Now if you look at her look, it's not like too boldly cut and contoured. So I'm not really tripping too much about the cut face here. I'm just giving my face a little bit of shape. You know, carving some of that jawline. Making it look a little bit skinnier. And then I'm going to go ahead and carve out my nose a little bit underneath all the makeup. Because, you know, we got to have our nose contour done. Temples again. Back underneath. All the funny faces you make when you do makeup, you know, airbrush makeup is no pass on that either. Still gotta make some pretty funny faces when you use airbrush makeup too. Alright, so now that my contour is done, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean out my airbrush real quick. Just flush it out. You know, you might hear the sound getting turned up. That's just me turning up the pressure on my airbrush to go ahead and flush the like cleaner or water or whatever I have in it at the time out a little bit quicker. That way this video doesn't end up being like 50 minutes long, you know, because I'm talking too, and that adds to the time. As you can see, it's already been like maybe 4 or 5 minutes into the video, and usually an eye look like this will take me like probably 10 minutes if it's like super detailed, but that 10 minutes is about to come and go. So now on to the eyes. I'm gonna do the eyes first. I know I concealed my under eye area, but I'm not gonna do my foundation just yet. I'm gonna do my eyes first, and the first shade I'm gonna start off using is Fawn Brown. Now, don't judge me too harshly. This is not the normal way that I usually film. I usually film and then do a voiceover. I'm a little bit more comfortable with that. I'm kind of weird and I talk really fast, and like it's kind of weird for me to get used to talking to the camera, so I tend to stumble over my words a lot and trail on into the abyss when it comes to ranting like I'm doing now. Anyways, I tend to do that a lot, so I'll try to tone it down for you guys that, you know, you're not bored out of your mind. So starting this, see what I mean? So I'm going to start this look off by applying Fawn Brown to the transition crease area. Now, the original model that this look was done on has a different eye shape than me. So just know that there's going to be variations in my final product and the original look. So, you know, keep an open mind and keep a creative eye out. You know, keep an open mind there. But there's going to be differences. But so long as we get the color scheme the same, yeah, I think that would be all good. Okay. So, colors down like Jamie Brown toward the inner corner there. Alright, so now I have that shade down. Maybe I should zoom you guys in. Do you guys want to come in closer? Let's bring you in closer. There, I hope that's a little bit better for you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and rinse that shade out, and I'm noticing some weird sounds going on with my airbrush. So before I can continue on, I gotta fix that shit, because I'm gonna have to fix that. Ooh, yeah, we don't curse on my channel. Yeah, we don't curse on my channel. So you're just gonna pretend that you didn't hear that. And I'm gonna clean out the tip of my airbrush. If you are curious, I am also using the diner system, just in case you were wondering. So, clear that out real quick. You can always tell if your airbrush is performing properly by the sound it makes. Now, if you're like me and seasoned, then you know what a smooth spray sounds like. You know when you're ready to go. So, now that I have that base of Fawn Brown down, I'm going to go ahead and take Egyptian Bronze. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply it over that Fawn Brown. I know, redundant, but this is going to add some depth and dimension to the look. Trust me, it's needed. Now, I have a lot of creases on my eyelid, and I know sometimes in some past videos you've probably seen that there are lines. It's definitely not the makeup, guys. It's me waiting too long. Or, sorry, not waiting too long. Not waiting long enough to allow the product to fully dry before I open my eyes. Now, anytime I do these tutorials, like, I'm trying to whip through these looks. So you'll often see, like, little lines and stuff like that. And because my eyes are getting super old after having, like, 3 children and doing that mom life for so long, I mean, it's getting wrinkly around there, and I can't help it. So we're just going to deal with it. Next, I'm going to be taking the same shade and applying it to my lower lash line as a haze color. I'm going to apply it a little bit further than what I normally would do, because it's going to be that hazed color. This is also a trick way to hide if you have dense lines underneath your eyes, like I do. This is a good way to go ahead and hide those lines. See, because now they're covered with shadow, and you don't have to worry about seeing a bold line with your concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that shade. Now the next shade I'm going to use is a shade on my lid, which means I got to get all of this brown out of my airbrush. So excuse me for a second. And that took all of 2 seconds. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the shade Clio, and I'm going to apply that all over the lid. A few drops of that. Test it on my hand, looks better, it's pretty. So I'm going to apply that over the lid, and I don't want to get it too much into my transition area, so I'm going to protect that area. Just a smidge. Kind of find the best route to go about this. Dry it. That way I have that nice sharp line. Create that nice rounded line because I'm not using a brush and patting product in. The only way to create that line is to use a shield. So like I said before, anything you can do with traditional makeup, you could do with airbrush makeup. You just have to get creative, really. That's what it's all about. And I have that nice sharp line going on. Woo. Yeah, nice and sharp. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in that lid like so. Color as opaque as I can get it, without, you know, getting into, I think that's even, without getting into my on the tear duct too, why not? Remember to allow the shade to dry as much as you can. This is what we got going on so far. Okay? Remember to allow it to dry. Otherwise you get those lovely looking crease lines that we all hate so very much. Alright, so that is the lid color. Clio, it's a beautiful color. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this Clio out. And then I'm going to take Shocking and try to create those little pink speckles that I saw in the original swatch of the shade Millionaire from ColourPop Cosmetics, which was, of course, the shade that was used on the lid here in this look. Now in the picture you couldn't really tell that it was Millionaire because the way it looked in the picture, because like the lighting for editing, if there was editing, made it look different. But in the picture where the model has her eyes open, then you can actually see that it is a golder, more bronzy tone. So I'm going to lower my pressure. So I lowered my pressure down, maybe like 10 o'clock. I'm just going to go ahead and flick the shade, this is Shocking, over the Clio, the Clio. And what that's going to do is ensure that any undertones that are in the original color stay true. Because we want to get it as close looking to the original as possible. So I think that's all I'm going to do now. Get rid of this shade now. So now that the lid color is complete, looking complete, I think I'm going to spray a little bit more Clio over the top of that because I might have went a little bit too handsy with the Shocking. I'm just going to take a drop of that Clio and center there. Dang it. My fault, I only put one drop in there. I'm trying not to waste too much product. There we go. Woo, there we go. Good. Alright. My lid's dry, so there's no creasing, creping, whatnot. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to take the final shade in this look, which is dark brown. I'm gonna go ahead and define the outer V, just like she did in her original look. So, nice and sharp. And drag it down. All the way through. Yes, my eyes still do water, but I'm used to it. I know how to correct and everything with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on this eye. Alright, yes, my eyes are watering, but it's all good. So now we can get back to the blending. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this. Probably not on the eye that watered so much. I'm going to blend this into the clear on the lid. And then I'm also going to take it and I'm going to protect, use my shadow shield, protect what I got going on here. Over the lid. Okay. And that will give you a nice, there we go. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna wait for this eye to stop watering so dang much, because they do water. I am human, not a robot. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. You gotta wipe off your stencil first. You don't want that mucky stuff all over your beautiful airbrushed eye. Okay. Nice little line there. Fill it in now. There we go. There we go. Now if you find that you sprayed just a little too much, see, we didn't blend in this side. You must blend this into the lid too. So if you find ever that you sprayed just a little too much of the darker shade and you covered up the transition area, what you can do to correct that, we will do in a second because I gotta add some more dark brown, because her original look has it going all the way through. What you can do is empty out your cup, take that first shade Fawn Brown, just go back, take a drop or two, okay, and then just go back and run it over the transition area, okay. And you'll be right back on point again. See? On point. Now if you want to go ahead and smoke out that bottom lash line, don't use a stencil. Just like that. Like that. Do a little dusting. Okay? Nice little dusting, little haze. Now the eyes are almost done. We just need to apply our liner. And of course, this is an airbrush eye look, so we're going to use airbrush liner. So for my liner, I'm going to be using a jet black. I'm just going to take 2 drops of jet black. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and get on in with it. Now bear in mind, my mirror is a little bit far away, so I'm having a little bit harder time seeing, but don't worry, I'm going to whip this out for you anyway. So, we're going to give it a try. Dry it up a little bit. Got the tail end of my cat eye going on. And then we're going to go ahead and whoop. Start moving down toward the lash line. And then we're just going to keep on moving across until we're all done with our liner. So just go ahead and There we go, nice and pigmented. Doesn't look like water coming out. Okay, and her liner went through all the way to the inner corner. That's what we're gonna try to do. Like I said, my eye shape is different from the models originally, so of course it's gonna look a little bit different. But like I said, you know, we're gonna get as close as we can here to the original look. So now we're just gonna apply some to the lower lash line. Yeah, applying airliner is a lot easier when you're not filming, just FYI. So I'm gonna do the other eye now. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and clean out that jet black. All right, so now that we're back out and you can see my face, we're gonna go ahead and take our blush shade. No, we're not. We're going to do our foundation and then we're gonna do our blush. So foundation first, I use a mixture of honey beige and nutmeg. Mix those two together. So let's get that honey beige in here. I'm going to use the Radiance line because it's pretty. It's also from Danier. Do a little shake, a little mixy mix. I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation. Okay. Clear out your gun, your airbrush. Clear out your airbrush. Then we're going to take our blush shade, which today is going to be dark peach pink. A couple drops of that. Of course, applying your blush shade after foundation is going to make it a little bit more bolder, which is what we want because the original look was a little bit more bolder on the blush. Alright, now that our blush is done, we want to flush that pink shade out because we're going to apply our highlighter. We don't want a pink highlighter for this look. Now the reason why I'm applying my highlighter now instead of my brows is because I'm going to go with my highlighter up toward my brows. And I honestly do not want the highlighter to cover any of my brow shades. So that's why we're doing it this way. And for this look, I'm going to be using Shine On You, which is a Kohler opalescent highlighter. And we're just going to go ahead and hit it with a couple of drops here. Just 2 drops of that. And to the tops of the cheekbones. Yeah. See that? Oh, pretty. You know highlighter? Yes, highlighter. So, I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And then we're going to go down the bridge of the nose, because I think that looks pretty. Cupid's bow, chin, center of the forehead. We're going to just tiny little bit on the brow bone, just at the high point. Not too much, because I don't want it to infiltrate the rest of the makeup there. And we're just going to make this one glow to the heavens. We have a bunch extra. Now, if you have extra, we're going to spray it on the neck. Spray it on the neck. Give your neck a nice glow. Okay? So now that that's done, it's time to go ahead and work on the brows. So for this look, the brows, I'm going to turn my air pressure off real quick. The brows, I'm going to be using a Kohler brow shade. And I got to go back here to get it. But it's Dark Smoke. In the original look, the artist gave the model very nice bold brows. So if you watch my brow tutorial, which hopefully you all did, you would know that Kohler, the Kohler brow line offers a more opaque, bolder brow than the Kohler Glamour shades. So that's what we're going to be using today. Than the Danier Glamour shades, excuse me. So the Kohler is what we're going to be using today. So I'm using Kohler Eyebrow in the shade Dark Smoke. Just taking a couple drops of that. Turn my air pressure on. Test it on tissue. And then I'm going to take my brow stencil and apply my brows like so. Okay. And then if you watch that video, you know how I like to square off my brows in the front. So we're just going to pull out that technique now. Okay, that's one done. Let's do the other one. Nice bold at the brow. Alright, we're good. Alright, so now my brows are on. So you know what that means. It's time for the lippy. Now, of course, I'm using a bunch of Dinair products, and I would use a Dinair liquid lipstick because I love their liquid lipstick. That's the only ones that I use. They're long lasting and pigmented, and I love them. But the reddish shade that they have is called Vixen, and it has a little bit more of a pinky undertone. And what I want for this look is something of a little bit more of a red undertone. So I'm going to be using a different lippy stick. It is from Rimmel London, and it is from the Kate collection. You probably want to see the whole tube. From the Kate collection. And this is shade number 111 called Kiss of Life. It gives me life. So I'm going to go ahead and put my lips down. And you see this has like a little bit more of an orangey undertone. Bear in mind, I am not used to wearing lipstick, so like honestly I'm terrible at putting it on. I literally started wearing lipstick like when I started doing airbrush makeup. About a little over 5 years ago. And it's not something that I wear every single day because I have kids. And yeah, so don't judge me. And besides, I also have that scar there, so it kind of makes my lips a funny shape. Alright, so now that that's done, my lips are done, my face is done, my eyes are done, except for my lashes. So let's put on some mascara. And here I'm just using Mary Kay Lash Love Mascara. Feel free to use any mascara you have, just make sure it's black. Okay, and now it's time to apply some false lashes. So let me pick some out. I'm gonna see you in the end. Yeah, see you in a minute. And this is the finished look. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in closer so you can get a close-up of the eye look. So what I got going on here. No, I couldn't help it. I had to do that. Alright, and that is it for this video. Thank you so much for recommending that I recreate this look. I love it. It's beautiful. I think the original look was amazing, and I'm loving this airbrush recreation of it. If you have any requests, help, comments, anything, just go ahead and put it in the comment box below for me. I'd love to interact with you guys, and of course I want to put out things that you want to see, so definitely leave that in the comment box below as well, and I will go ahead and try to get that put in as soon as I can. Of course, you know, I have a filming schedule where I kind of throw things in and then I kind of pull from as I'm ready to film. So if you made a request in the past and you haven't seen it, don't worry, I know what you've requested. I'm just waiting for the right moment to go ahead and pull it up. So you'll be seeing a lot more of the requested videos pulled up within the next couple of weeks as I try to get the list to be a lot smaller. But yes, you will get to see them. So please stay tuned and stick with me. I promise I will get out the content that you were waiting for. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you liked it. Definitely subscribe to stay in touch. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.